Hi there, little friends. It's Melissa. Are you ready for a story about a very clever little tailor who proves that you don't have to be big to be brave? Today we're telling the classic tale of the brave little tailor. It's an 8-minute adventure full of smart thinking. Let's begin. Once upon a time, in a busy town, lived a little tailor. He was very good at his job and very fast with his needle. He was always cheerful and loved to sing while he worked. One sunny afternoon, he was feeling particularly hungry. While eating some jam, 7 flies began to buzz around him. With one quick swish of a cloth, he hit all 7 at once. I am brave, he thought. He made himself a belt that said 7 at one blow and decided the whole world should know of his bravery. He packed a piece of soft cheese and a little bird in his bundle and set off. I am small, but I am mighty, he sang as he climbed high mountains and crossed wide fields. He was looking for a real adventure. High up on a mountain, he met a giant. The giant looked down and laughed. "What do you want, little tiny man?" he boomed. The tailor pointed to his belt. "Read this," he said proudly. The giant thought the tailor had defeated 7 giants at once. The giant wanted to test the tailor. He picked up a stone and squeezed it until water came out. "Can you do that?" he asked. The tailor pulled out his soft cheese and squeezed it until liquid dripped. The giant was very impressed. Next, the giant threw a rock so high it almost reached the clouds. "Now you try," he said. The tailor tossed his little bird into the air. The bird flew up and never came back down. "Your rock fell," the tailor said, "but mine stayed up." The giant asked the tailor to help carry a heavy tree. "I'll take the branches," the tailor said. While the giant struggled with the trunk, the tailor sat on a branch and let the giant carry him too. He whistled a happy tune the whole way. The tailor traveled until he reached the king's palace. He fell asleep on the grass, and when the guards saw his belt, they ran to the king. "A great hero has arrived," they cried. The king invited the tailor to join his army. The king had a problem with 2 giants in the forest. "If you defeat them," he promised, "you shall marry the princess." The tailor went into the woods and found the giants sleeping. He had a very clever plan. He filled his pockets with stones and climbed a tree above the giants. He dropped a stone on one giant, then the other. The giants thought they were hitting each other. They began to argue, and soon they both ran far away from the forest forever. Next, the king asked him to catch a wild unicorn. The tailor led the unicorn to a big tree. When the unicorn charged, it stuck its horn deep into the wood. The tailor tied a rope around it and led it back to the palace. He was very smart. Finally, he had to catch a wild boar. He led the boar into a small room and jumped out the window, locking the door behind him. The boar was caught. The king saw that the tailor was indeed a very clever hero. The king kept his promise, and the little tailor married the princess. They had a grand wedding with music, dancing, and more cake than you can imagine. Everyone in the kingdom celebrated the brave and clever tailor. One night, the princess heard the tailor talking in his sleep about sewing coats. She realized he was just a tailor, but when she asked him, he smiled and told her his whole story. She loved him even more for being so smart. The tailor became a very wise and kind king. He always used his wit to solve problems and made sure everyone in his kingdom was happy and safe. He proved that you don't need to be a giant to do big things. He never forgot his roots and would often walk through the town, helping anyone in need. Whether it was a big problem or a small one, the Tailor King always knew exactly what to do. Kindness was his new motto. The kingdom lived in peace for many, many years. The story of the brave little tailor was told to all the children to remind them that being clever and kind is the best way to be a hero. Everything was perfect. As night fell, the town grew quiet and the stars came out. Everyone felt safe and warm in their cozy beds, dreaming of their own clever adventures. The story was over, but the bravery lived on. Good night. The king and queen tucked their own little ones into bed, sharing the same stories of wit and courage. They knew that their family was the greatest treasure of all. Love filled every corner of the palace. Deep in the forest, even the giants and the unicorn were fast asleep. The world was quiet and full of peace. Every creature, big and small, was tucked in for the night, dreaming of sweet adventures. Now it's time for our little dreamers to rest. Close your eyes and think of the clever tailor and his happy kingdom. Always be smart, be kind, and have the sweetest dreams. Sleep well. The moonlight gently guides your dreams tonight. Feel safe and warm, knowing that you are brave and clever too. The adventures of tomorrow are just a dream away. Good night, little ones. Wasn't that a clever story? I hope you enjoyed our journey with the brave little tailor. Have the most wonderful dreams tonight, and I'll see you next time for another story. Goodbye, friends.